Welcome to Living Lit, where conversations spark inspiration to live in truth. Journey together with us to explore what it means to live a liturgical life and walk in the truth of our faith. Let's instill a culture in our hearts, homes, families, and world, living a life cooperating with and walking alongside our Lord. I'm Robyn. Let's be a light, share the light, shine the light, and live lit. Welcome back to Living Lit, Living in Truth. Today we're talking about one of the most beloved pilgrimage sites in the world, and that is Lourdes, France, and the incredible way that Our Lady continues to draw hearts closer to her Son there. So I have a treat for you today. I actually have our family friend, Anneliese Glickley, joining me today, and she literally just days ago got back from a pilgrimage that she took to Lourdes. So she is on the show today to share her experience from being with Our Lady at Lourdes. And she even has, not only was she on a pilgrimage, but she was accompanying somebody in need as a nurse on pilgrimage. So she really kind of has this dual perspective of being on a pilgrimage to visit Our Lady of Lourdes. So Anneliese, thank you so much for popping in so soon after you're getting home.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm super excited for this.
Oh, I am so excited. And you're such a gift. So we know you through our oldest daughter, Michaela. You are one of her best, most dearest friends. And you and my Michaela have formed friendship because you work together and you are nurses together. And even though I'm not a nurse, I know that nurses, my nursing friends and family, I know that you all bond together very closely at work, especially when you're working in the hospital system and stuff. So you've been a gift to Michaela, and then it's the fruits of that is that we get to have you within our family, like an adopted family member, and you're like an adopted aunt then to my grandkids. I know they just love you to death. You spoil them like crazy. So it's been a blessing to have you in our life, Anneliese. So will you share about who you are?
Sure. So, like she said, my name's Anneliese Glickley. I grew up in Lenexa, Kansas. I graduated with my bachelor's in nursing from Palm Beach Atlantic University in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Wow.
And then I moved up here to Sioux Falls for my first nursing job at Avera Behavioral Health, and that's where I met Michaela. So, we worked together for 3 years. And then also I have been the nurse at D Camp the last couple summers as well. So I have that experience too, and it's been great. I've loved Sioux Falls. It's such a great area. I've met so many wonderful people. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought up D Camp. I forgot about that. So people who live in our diocese, the Diocese of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, who are listening, if you have any D campers, any middle school or high schoolers, then Anneliese is the campus nurse during D Camp, which is so fun. And so when we brought one of our fellows there, it was so fun because we ran into you there this summer. So that was super neat. But what a gift that is too, because it's nice to know that when us parents send kiddos off to camp, that there is a loving nurse there to care for them should anything arise that they need any care for. So that's super, super awesome. And I love how you and Michaela's friendship, I think what really bonded you guys, because I knew of you after she first met you, there's just this special connection that you share when you share the faith. And so I remember she's like, Mom, I just met the most lovely gal, and she's Catholic, and I just know that we're going to be friends. And so it's just been really beautiful to watch how our faith really does bring people together. And I think you would agree, because I know that my friends, that we have the same thing happen where you become friends, but it's because you realize you share the faith, as it's like you're like super sisters in Christ, and you just have this super bond. And what a gift that is, isn't it? It's just so beautiful, so beautiful. So yeah, so
I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree.
So I want to hear all about Lourdes. I am so excited. So when I talked to you before you left, I was like, oh my goodness, you have to come on and talk, because I hope by the grace of God I get there someday. But in the meantime, the closest I'm going to get is through someone like you. And that may be the case of our listeners. And so pilgrimages are just so beautiful and interesting wherever they are. You know, we can take a pilgrimage to our local church. We can take a pilgrimage an hour away. But people tend to think of pilgrimages as somewhere further away, like coming, going from Midwest United States all the way to France to Lourdes. So tell me about how that transpired. Like, how did this pilgrimage to Lourdes even pop into your path in life?
So I went on a medical mission trip when I was in college through Focus. And ever since then, I've been wanting to find another medical mission trip to go on. So how this one particularly came about is my mom actually went on it's called a virtual pilgrimage. So basically, the organization that I went with over to Lourdes is called Our Lady of Lourdes Hospitality North American Volunteers. It's based out of Syracuse, New York. They do these virtual pilgrimages at parishes all across the US where they bring Lourdes water and they talk about their mission, about Lourdes just as a whole. So my mom went to one in Kansas, and she was like, she picked up one of the little brochures for me and she's like, you have to go. So I started reading up on it and I was like, okay, I feel like this is what I'm being called to go on next. And so I signed up back in June for the
So like a
October.
year ago, June. Or no, or just this June.
Just this
Just
June.
this
I
June.
signed up
Okay,
a week before
wow.
the deadline. So
That would be how I would do it too. It's going to
yeah,
work, so let's just jump in, shall we?
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So
So was it the more of the service aspect of this pilgrimage that really drew you in? Like, was it your nursing and mission heart? Which is the other thing you and Michaela have so in common, honestly, is you're such servant hearted nurses. So is that kind of what drew you to this particular pilgrimage then?
I would say yes, that because I truly feel God has called me to be a nurse, to care for his children. Like,
Mm.
I love being a nurse and I love getting to go out there and take care of my patients every day. So I think that was definitely one of the big factors. But then that it was Lourdes as well. Like I've seen pictures. I remember watching what is it, like the cartoon little episode that talks about Saint Bernadette. Um,
Yeah.
and yes, actually, when I was over at Michaela's, she put it on for the kids to watch. I was like, I haven't watched this in years, but
Oh, that's so
um,
sweet. I didn't know you grew up with that too. I
yes,
love
I
it.
did.
Oh, so really a
Yeah,
seed that has been planted in you since you were little, that Lourdes is familiar to you. You know
yes.
the story. You've heard growing
Mhm.
up then how, I mean, I would imagine millions. Do you know the number that have gone? It's got to be, don't you think, over the
Oh,
years?
I would believe millions. I mean,
Yeah.
yes,
So you
yeah.
have just grown up knowing, and so then this opportunity comes up for you to go as as a servant person, like
Hmm.
someone serving. So tell us what that looks like, including the you had to wear a special uniform too, right?
Yes,
You have to show me pictures. I can't wait. This is so cute. So tell
absolutely.
us
I
how
can.
that came to be then. And like what does that look like then? Because most people they sign up for the pilgrimage as themselves, but you're signing up to go, but you're signing up to be like a care person and accompany someone. So tell us what that looks like.
So, they have nurses and doctors and priests, as well as a leadership team, again, from all over the country. And they put us in groups flying out of different cities out of the US. So I was in the Atlanta group, but they had flights going out of New York, out of Detroit, like just all over the place. And each team is built up of like a leadership team, a couple nurses, at least one doctor, and then at least one priest.
Oh,
And
cool.
we fly over with our pilgrims from Atlanta. We flew through Paris to Biarritz. I hopefully pronounced that correctly. And then we took a bus ride from there to Lourdes.
Okay.
So, long journey. We were saying, or I was gonna say, one of the other pilgrims was saying, like, it would not be a pilgrimage if it was easy to get there,
This is
and
true.
it was definitely some delayed flights, just a long travel. But our pilgrims, even with all of their health things going on, they were such troopers getting there, and you can
Oh,
just tell it's like their faith just drives them, and that's so just it was amazing to watch. It really was because they were going to make it to Lords.
yeah.
And
Oh my goodness. Wow.
hmm
So the people that are the pilgrims that are the pilgrims you are accompanying that need some extra
yes.
care and assistance.
hmm
So they do are the majority of them wanting to go or going seeking healing? Um, does that make sense? You
Yes,
know, because
yes,
many people
yeah.
do. That's, I mean, Lourdes is known for the healing
Hmm.
waters, the healing that takes place through our Blessed Mother, which is ultimately from our Lord. And if it's His will for those people to be healed when they go there. So the majority of the people are seeking that. But, you know, I think there are a lot of people that go there with some different health issues and disabilities that maybe aren't as apparent to on the outside to some of us.
Hmm.
So what was that like for like the majority of the pilgrims that were part of your group?
Hmm.
Were they seeking then that like physical healing then, I'm assuming?
So again, we had people with both physical and mental health issues that wwere going on, and people were looking for both, I'd say, the physical healing as well as like
Mm-hmm.
spiritual, just like all aspects. Because like healthcare really is mind, body, and spirit,
It is.
um, as they teach us. So yes, I would say it was a little bit of all of the above. And then also a lot of our pilgrims, they also brought support people with them, whether that was family members or a
Oh.
friend. So it was, you were really caring for a family dynamic as well,
Mm,
which I mean is just healthcare here as well. It's
yeah.
yeah. So I think that was really cool too, that they were all going for something, and I feel like I noticed all of them, like including the family members, like everyone got something out of being there.
Yeah, I didn't realize, which is so neat, that the pilgrims could also have
Mhm.
some of their family or close people in their life come along with them. That is
Mhm.
so beautiful because, you know, we've all, well, most of us have read or seen stories of a family member bringing, like physically bringing their loved one to Lourdes in hopes of being healed by the healing waters. And when I, you know, heard about you going, and it's like, oh, you can actually have like a care person, like you can have a nurse or a doctor accompany someone. Oh my goodness, that's crazy awesome. But I didn't
Mhm.
realize till you're telling me now that still family can come along. So were you
Mhm.
assigned to, was it just one person or was it more than one or a group?
So I would say yes, I was assigned to like someone specifically, but I was also still responsible for like the people on my flight because that's how we kind of group things up by. But I mean, as as we're there, it's like if anyone needs something, if I need to give someone a band-aid or push someone's wheelchair, like even if they're not in my group, like still gonna jump in and help, sort of thing. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
you said you even had like a sweet little, like, was it like an old fashioned nurse uniform, even? So you were
Yes.
identifiable as a nurse, which I think is the sweetest, cutest thing because I'm all for going back in time and dressing for our stations a little bit differently
Hmm.
than just the regular scrubs, which are fine in today's world. But there's something so sweet about, especially I think just going somewhere to Lourdes. Like, because
Hmm.
did you feel like it's kind of like stepping back in time at all a little bit since Lourdes has been around for a while?
I would say yes, because there's a lot of different organizations that bring people from all over Europe, all over the world to Lords. And I noticed as looking at like those other groups, they didn't have the same like white scrub dress uniforms that we had, but they had a kind of more kind of old timey sort of outfits as well that was coordinating. So I just
Mm-hmm.
thought that was really cool.
Oh, it is.
I loved it. Yeah.
That is so fun. So give us an idea of what is Lourdes like? Like, tell me what it's like when you get there and you get to experience Lourdes. Like, do you see it like from far away as you're coming to it, or do you just come around a bend and it's like, oh my goodness, here it is? Like, just tell me about it. What is it like?
Okay, so when we got there, and actually when we left as well, it was dark. We got to Lord's at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh
Um,
my.
so it was the next morning is when I actually got to see it the first time. We had this meeting, so or I should say, let me back up. We stayed in like a hospital like facility on the grounds of the sanctuary, which is really nice because it's super accessible then for our pilgrims to just walk over any time of the day to pray or
Mm.
to again like spend time just walking around the grounds. It's great. So that first morning we went up to like the fifth floor of this facility and got to walk out on the balcony, and that's when I saw it for the first time, and it is spectacular. Oh my gosh, like
Oh.
I don't even know if I can put it into words. Like you walk out and it's like you can see like the basilica off to one side, but then like you can just see all like the Pyrenees mountains,
Oh.
and it's just spectacular, and it's like God made that and he did a good job.
Oh yeah. So can you see the grotto actually from where you were, or more you just see like
um
the basilica area?
you can more see the basilica. There's kind of a tree blocking where
Oh.
exactly the grotto is, but I know.
But still.
um
Okay.
but I was gonna say there's kind of like a river that runs between our building and then like the grounds of the sanctuary. So just a quick little jump across the bridge and you're right
Wow.
there.
Oh.
um
Yeah.
So,
So
and I
you
guess like the grotto in comparison in size to the basilica, I'm gonna be honest, it makes the grotto look so small because they, I mean, they said build a church and they built one that's like 50 times the size of the grotto. So,
I have seen pictures where they show people like walking up to the basilica, and
hmm
then you can really tell you're like, oh wow, because sometimes when you see it without like a picture of the basilica without people or things that put it into size comparison, but I have seen where
yeah.
people are in front of it and it's like incredible. Wow, I that's amazing that you were able to stay so close that you could see the basilica, but even the landscape of what,
hmm
like you said, God put that there to
hmm
show his beauty. And I think, wow, how also probably intentional then that he would have had that Marian apparition there, knowing
hmm
that people are going to continue to come for years and years and get to enjoy the beauty of his creation along with this pilgrimage site. That's just awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So then you take it. So when you get in, so you arrive at Lourdes, then do you have to like help your person like into their rooms and all of that? Like, is there that much like that you're accompanying them totally on the trip?
So I was gonna say again, you kind of jump in and help wherever you see something is needed. And
Okay.
what was really nice, and I didn't realize this was gonna be a thing until we got there, but there were students from Franciscan University
Oh,
that they were doing study abroad in Austria this semester, and they took one of their weeks off to come help serve our pilgrims as well. So to have
oh,
that extra set of helping hands from people younger than I am to lift lift bags, help push wheelchairs, God bless them because it was so helpful to have them there.
oh, awesome. So then
Mhm.
you are able to then have your own spiritual experience at the same time. So
Yes.
what does that look like? Like tell us the first day you wake up. You're at
So
Lord, you get there during the night. Were you even
yes.
able to sleep from the excitement of being that close? Oh
I,
my
I think I got a good 4 hours maybe.
goodness. So then what does that
um,
first day look like? Tell us what it's like. You wake up and you are actually going to get to see the actual grotto. So bring us into that
yes.
day.
Absolutely. So the first day, again, they did just kind of like a little introduction to so we could meet everyone. It was nice. They let the pilgrims kind of share their stories, like what brought them to Lourdes.
Oh.
So I thought that was so lovely because, again, it's like they give us like on the medical team kind of a heads up, kind of what people are going through, but to actually hear their stories
Mm,
first to like start the pilgrimage off, like how amazing. Um, and then they took us on a tour of the grounds of the sanctuary. So we got to walk past the grotto and
mm,
see the different basilicas that are there. And they were just kind of giving us the lay of the land. We got to do like mass every day, and yeah, they had so many activities for us. We ate meals with the pilgrims at the facility we were staying at, so that was really nice to really again get to just know them so well. And everyone was just so kind and so joyful. Oh
oh,
my goodness.
wow.
Um, but that was kind of the main part of like the first day. And then that night well, I should say every night they do a candlelit rosary procession. So the first night we just watched it like from that fifth floor balcony, just from a distance, and it's so cool because when they are praying the rosary, they're praying it in different languages because people are coming
Oh.
from all over the world. So that's like one of my favorite things about traveling to other countries is getting to go to mass in other languages,
Mm.
just because it's just cool. Like, I don't know, I love it.
Yeah, that is super fun. I never thought about how, because I knew they did the rosary procession, because I know actually now that you mention it, I had talked to someone who had been part of that. Um, but it never occurred to me that you would have people from literally all over the world
Hmm.
wanting to participate. Oh my goodness. But I imagine that because the cadence of the rosary is the same, right? But in
Hmm.
different languages, that it was it still like recognizable then? It's just that, was it more like music? Or like, do you know what I mean? Maybe not music isn't the word, but I'm just like curious what that's even like to hear all the different languages and all the different people of the world represented and part of
Uh-huh.
that.
Yes, I was gonna say it. Yes, especially like I feel like Italian's a little bit more recognizable, and like French isn't too far off. I'm gonna be honest, when they started getting into like German, I got a little lost, but it just, I mean, it just, yeah, it was just so lovely. And the next night we actually got to participate in the candlelight rosary. So I got to actually carry one of the big candles at the front of the procession.
Oh,
um and that was so cool, just like leading all these people, and they all had their individual candles as well. And it was so beautiful. It's just like watching all this light make its way up to like the basilica with like this beautiful statue of Mary.
mm.
um so yeah, it was just so lovely.
Oh, it sounds absolutely beautiful
Mhm.
and prayerful and
Yes.
reverent and moving, like to
Mhm.
see the light. I'm so moved by candlelight. Just,
Yes.
knowing that, Jesus is the light of the world, but there's something about when individual people are carrying candles that when all together give off so much light
Mhm.
of just the faith. That's just awesome. So what's it like then when you actually get to go experience more up close to the grotto area, to the
Yeah.
water?
Hmm. So, I actually more than once, because in our free time is when we could actually go walk through the grotto, and actually get to touch the rocks on the inside, which is just beautiful. And I took my rosary with me, and there's you can see like the spring in the back, and they kind of have it like protected with glass.
Okay.
Um, but like that original like spring, and people like leave flowers, which is so beautiful. And some of the rocks are a little bit wet from like the waters as well. um, but yeah, no, I made sure to walk through a couple times because it was so incredible. But and then right near the grotto is where where people go for it's called the piscines, or baths,
Okay.
where people go and are actually submerged in the waters.
Wow.
um, and I thought that it was just going to be the pilgrims that went and did that, but they actually, I got the chance to do it as well. And like that was just so moving. It brought me to tears. So it was amazing. So yeah.
Wow. I imagine words cannot even describe
Mm-mm.
what that is
No.
like. Like,
Yeah.
and so I imagine even the people that you are witnessing around you and experiencing, like I imagine it to be very emotional for many people,
Mm-hmm.
especially I'm sure there are just people there that are just thinking, if I can just get to Lourdes, if I
Mm-hmm.
can just get to Lourdes, and if it's the Lord's will that I will be healed, that I cannot imagine. Like, can you feel it when you are around all these different people? Do you feel
Mm-hmm.
that as well?
Oh,
Like, there's the
absolutely.
emotion of just, wow, I am at Lourdes. I
Mm-hmm.
am somewhere where Mary was actually here.
Mm-hmm.
So many miracles have happened, but everyone else around you. Like, I I don't know. Do you want to talk about that, or
Yeah,
just
yeah,
whatever? I
absolutely.
just would love to hear.
Um, well, yes, I'd say you can definitely like see the suffering that some of these people are going through. I was gonna say again, I saw a lot of people shed tears as well. Um, sad and good, like especially when they are talking about again the health things that are going on in their life, and some of these people it's like their health issues came on very quickly, um, and they were like, yeah, I have to get to Lourdes, this is something I really want to do. Or sometimes it was a family member that was like, we got to get you to Lourdes. So I think that's very beautiful too, that faith inspired some of again the family support people to get their loved ones here.
Mm-hmm.
um, but yeah, no, I was gonna say it was very moving to see that like even amidst their suffering, they still had so much faith and they carried it with so much grace. And I just again, I just think it's inspiring that um they yeah, they're just going through these very traumatic things in their life, and yeah, but they're like, no, again, whatever God's will is for me. And one of the things that I loved, that everyone kept saying is you never leave Lourdes empty handed. And like, I just feel like they really kept emphasizing that. And even the people that, again, really were suffering, I feel like they left with some spiritual comfort from this pilgrimage. And
Mm-hmm.
then there was some that I was going to say, I went into the piscines with two of the pilgrims that were on the trip, and they're just the sweetest little things in the world. Oh my goodness. And when she came out, she was just grinning ear to ear, like just the joy after being able to be submerged in those waters in front of the statue of Mary. You can just tell that it like truly made a difference for her. That yeah, amidst her suffering, that just brought her so much joy.
Yeah, and I imagine even hope also,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
because I think people know that yes, miraculous healing takes place there
Mm-hmm.
instantly. There are stories of that, but then there's also where healing comes later on,
Yes.
where
Mm-hmm.
someone's faith is still such a big part of this. Don't you
Mm-hmm.
think? There's the faith and the hope and the trust in God and in his providence and in his will for them. So I
Mm-hmm.
imagine, is it like kind of just like this boost of like extreme divine grace? Like, do you feel something like of that?
Oh, absolutely. And I feel like it's even just brought me closer to my faith. Just being able to like witness such holy ground. And yes, it was like a holy place, but it was also being surrounded by people of faith that I feel like just made it that much more of a faith-filled experience. Because I feel like that was truly like my grace, my blessing that I got out of it was the connections and the people that I met. And like yeah, like so obviously it's like being at Lord's was incredible, but being able to share Lord's with them is what made it that much better.
Yeah, almost like this bond. I imagine that
Yes.
you just are so bonded together after experiencing something so
Hmm.
profound and deep,
Hmm.
something that would just touch
Absolutely.
you and pierce you so very deeply. So, were there
Hmm.
other different like situations or experiences that really stood out for you on your time, on your trip and your time there?
Let me think. I was gonna say again, it was their schedule, like they fit so much into the time while you're there. We also got to do like a Eucharistic procession that was very beautiful. We got to go to mass in so many of the different churches and basilicas on the grounds. So that was very lovely as well. I they have the Stations of the Cross. They have like an upper one and a lower one. And the upper one is very up a mountain. But
Oh,
I was like I really want to walk it while I'm there. So I went and did that one of the evenings, and they have like life-size Stations of the Cross. So that was so beautiful. Like, again, you're climbing up, overlooking the mountains,
Mm,
but really getting to walk through Jesus's suffering, as well as like again, like with these people that are also suffering. So I just thought
mm.
that was really beautiful as well.
Yeah.
Trying to think what were some of the other, I don't know. Again, I think for me, like, again, just seeing the beauty and just like everything that was created there. And I was gonna say one of Saint Bernadette's like relics is there. Her whole body isn't at Lourdes. I believe it's in Neves.
Okay.
But just to be able to like see the yeah, one of her relics is there, and getting to pray there was really cool too. Um yeah, it was just amazing. Yeah, adoration was beautiful too, and
Mm.
yeah, oh, I could go on and on.
Is it packed? Like, are there people just everywhere? Or is it just like, even though there are lots of people there, that it's still like this comfortable movement of just being able to flow and go to all these beautiful, sacred, and special places?
So, when we were there, it it was still, I would say, pretty busy. There were still quite a few people. But I was talking to some of the other nurses that have gone in this same pilgrimage. They've taken pilgrims over there for several years now, and they said that there's been some times where it is two, three times as packed.
Oh, wow.
Um, Yes. So they're like, we've seen it when it's been less busy and more busy.
Hmm.
It just kind of depends on weather, time of year. We got so lucky. The weather was beautiful. It did not rain at
Mm.
all. It was like in the 60s. It was just gorgeous weather.
Uh,
So
Sounds like you went at the perfect time.
we again, it was one of those little blessings from God that it was perfect weather. So that was great.
Was there anything that took place on your pilgrimage that really surprised you? That something that you weren't expecting to maybe come out of your pilgrimage, or something that took place there? And maybe that's too personal a question. And
No.
if that's the case, that is okay.
Yeah.
I don't want you to share anything that is too close to your heart that is not meant to be shared yet.
Yeah.
But I don't is there anything that stands out that you're like, whoa, that I was not expecting that to hit me in that way, or to experience something like that?
Okay, let me think. I mean, okay, something that I thought was very cool was getting to like see all the different talents of like the other nurses and the doctors and people that were also on the pilgrimage with me. One of the doctors that was there, he played the organ for mass. And
Oh.
I thought that was so cool. I was like, "Oh my gosh, like another talent, another doctor we saw up. He was like on that balcony like drawing the mountains and stuff, and I'm like, it's just so cool to see like that. Yes, God maybe calls us into this profession, but like that he also graces us with so many other amazing talents. So I thought that was really beautiful as well. But as far as, again, I just feel like the biggest impact for me was, again, just the people that I met. And
Mm.
I was gonna say I definitely have still been in contact with them, checking in, making sure they're still doing okay at home. And I was gonna say I was talking with a few of them, and they're like, "Oh, we should go to this site in the U.S. now, and
Oh,
like all together."
cool.
Um, so I feel like
Oh.
that was like one of the graces that I got out of it as well, is like, um, yeah, that I have, again, like friends of faith. And also, this was something that we were talking about with the pilgrims, but that out of them coming on this trip, out of just us, like medical team, etc., like they have so many more prayer warriors for them as well
Oh,
now.
yeah. I did think of
Um,
that.
mhm.
Yeah.
So that's like a continued grace after being in Lourdes.
Yeah. So will you stay, and are you allowed to still stay in touch with like some of the patients that you were caring for?
Yes, so I was gonna say yes. We definitely, again, if they are okay with it and we are okay with it, we can definitely check in.
Okay.
So I was gonna say with one of them, we have a little group chat just to again stay in
Mm.
touch. And I was gonna say I know they were like, "Oh, are you gonna come back next year?" And
Oh.
I was like, "Oh, we'll see." Like I was gonna say I'd love to go back at some point.
Hmm.
Now just kind of seeing how things work. I was a little
Hmm.
nervous going into it, but again, it's like the blessings. I feel like it just calmed me down once I got there. I was like, okay, I got this. It'll be great. Maybe I don't know exactly how this facility works or the resources that might be over there, but God will provide and
Yeah.
it'll be great.
Yeah. I imagine it would be a little bit different experiencing it the second time around since you do know what to expect. Just like with anything in life where we're like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
well, now that I know what that looks like, that would make a really big difference in going. So pilgrimages don't end when we return home. So what's it been like? And you've barely been home, literally like just a few days ago, right? You got back. So I'm like, I snapped you
Yeah.
up right away because you're on to more traveling. So I'm like, okay, we would get you while you're freshly coming off the plane, basically and excited. But have you
Yes.
even had time to like, were you trying to like extend? Like, I know when I've been on retreats, I just do my best to try to keep riding that wave of like grace and just the way you feel after retreat. It's like, okay, we got to keep this wave going as long as we can. Is that kind of where you're at yet? Or, has anything
Um,
changed getting home or even in your faith life that you feel
mhm,
like, wow, that impacted me so much that I want to tweak some things now that I'm home?
mhm. So I would say one of the things that well, okay, so on pilgrimage, I feel like one of the things that kind of reflecting on just like my own role as a nurse and everything is sometimes I forget to like fill my own cup before I fill other
Mm.
people's. So I feel like coming home, I was like, okay, like my self-care to be able to continue to care for my patients is something that I need to put more of an emphasis on. As well as like still going out and sharing the message of Lourdes with people, because that's one of the things we're called to do is called to share Mary's love, God's love with everyone. So I have been driving all over Sioux Falls, passing out Lourdes water to friends and
Oh,
family.
I know what you did
Um,
before recording with me. You were at my daughter's house.
yes, I was dropping off Lourdes water.
I love it.
Yes. So I was gonna say I've been able to do that, but then again, just like continuing to pray for my pilgrims, like that's something I've been able to add into
Mm.
my like daily prayer. Is just continuing, like I'll list out their names and
Oh.
just really try to be intentional with thinking about them and that yeah, just lifting them up in prayer the best I can. So
Oh, that's so beautiful. And I can just tell every time I talk to you what a big heart you have to serve others. Like you are just a nurse is yes, it's your career, it's your occupation, but I can tell there are some extra special nurses like you. And I see it in my Michaela too, where you and most nurses absolutely do care so much for the people they care for, but it's so I just see it even beyond that, just like you had said, like when you were caring for, it was more than just your certain patient or person you were caring for, that it's just you see a need and you're just going to jump in and you're going to help and just love on those people. And what I see in you and through talking to you too is that you reflect the Father's love, and because you know who the divine physician is.
hmm
And what a beautiful thing that is to offer as a nurse and a doctor, and honestly, anybody in the medical profession. I would say, especially that, of course, we know that medicine and different, surgeries, different things can help heal someone, absolutely. But because of our faith, we know who the true divine physician is and where true healing comes from. So, what a gift that you were able to experience this pilgrimage through like a few different lenses as a
hmm
personal person going to attend this, but as like a caregiver and a nurse, and so just even the way that you're talking about how you pray for the pilgrims that you met up with and were able to care for, what a gift to them that they now have you as a prayer warrior, bringing them and presenting them to our Heavenly Father. But it'll just bond you all the more with them in relationship. So what a gift. What a gift.
Mhm. Yes, it's a very big gift, absolutely. So,
Oh. So what would you like say to those of us who we maybe will never make it to Lourdes? Is there a message you would give us? I mean, I hope someday I can. Oh my goodness, I hope that's in God's will that I get to visit there one day.
yeah.
But do you have like anything that you would offer as wisdom or any sort of a message for someone who were at home listening to this even? And what sort of message would you give them from Lourdes,
From
from Our
Lord's.
Lady?
So I guess like a couple things that I'd like to add to that. So, I mean, Mary is with us even here at home. I mean, obviously, yes, it is lovely to go to these holy sites where she has been, but she is with you in your day-to-day life. And again, if you ever need a mother's hug, like she's there, you just have to just reach out to her. So I was gonna say that is like probably the biggest thing I would say is just pick up your rosary and pray. But
Oh,
um and the one other thing though is like again through this organization they do these virtual pilgrimages all over the US. So maybe this is something to pray about and think about maybe attending one of those. I was gonna say I know they don't have any in Sioux Falls right now, and maybe that's something I'll have to reach out to them, see if we can get one to happen here at one of the parishes. But
yeah.
I know in Leawood, Kansas, it's near Kansas City. Actually, back home, a lot of my friends went to this parish, but they have one December 8th where they're going to bring Lourdes water and talk about
Oh,
Lourdes. So I was going to say maybe that would be something that take a little road trip down there. It's only
yeah.
5 hours. It's not too
That's
bad.
also not too bad. And
No.
so that could be, because that is considered a little pilgrimage as well. You know, a
It is
pilgrimage when we have an
absolutely.
intentional place we're heading with intentions and in a prayerful, spiritual way. So, absolutely. That is
Yes. And on
awesome.
their website, they have like all the locations and times and dates. And so I definitely like recommend if you're feeling that special calling to Lourdes, but again, right now maybe can't make it all the way over to France. Like
Hmm.
again, maybe just drive to another state. I mean, that'd be
Yeah.
perfect.
Love
And
it.
yes. And another thing that I wanted to mention. So this organization, the lady that founded it, she also wrote a book. It's
Oh,
called The Everyday Miracles of Lourdes.
oh,
And
nice.
it talks about, well, it starts off with like her story. Um, and it talks about just like some of the miracles that like she's been able to witness. Um, throughout like her time taking people over to Lourdes
Okay.
since she started the organization. So it's a beautiful book. I feel like it gives you a little bit of an insight. She does a good job explaining Lourdes as well
Okay.
in it. So I feel like that would be another great way to get your foot in the door with Lourdes, sort of thing. And
Awesome. Do you
yeah.
happen to know the website off the top of your head? And I'll also connect it in the show notes, but do you happen to have that information?
I was gonna say I Google it right now, or I can text it to you.
Okay, we'll put it in the show
But
notes. Yep, you get it to me, and then I will
perfect.
connect it in
Yes,
the show notes. So if anyone wants to go deeper with this, all they have to do is click on that link in our show notes. But I had no
absolutely.
idea that she had a book as well. So thank you for recommending that too. That is
Yeah.
awesome. And I think even because I have heard too that when people go on such a big pilgrimage,
Hmm.
that takes a little more planning to make that work in life, that it's very helpful to pray on and discern ahead of time and get to know more about that site, more about that
Hmm.
apparition, more about, anything you can know because your experience will be all the richer. But of course, we can
Yes.
also go in with just the faith of it because God
Yes.
fills in everything we need to know. But Anneliese, this was such a gift to hear about your
Oh,
trip. And I want to see your pictures somehow, but I know you're going to be heading off again because you're going to be doing traveling nursing. So I don't know when I'll get to see you in person again, but I know one day God will cross our paths. But somehow I'll have to
yes.
see some of your pictures, or maybe you can shoot me some and we can maybe overlay some into the video for people to to see
Sure.
too. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, I can
but
definitely do that. I'll send you a few, and yeah, you're more than
awesome.
welcome to put them out there.
Thank you. Well, what a gift. I'm so glad you got to experience it. And I just know that the Lord is going to continue to shower graces and blessings and fruits from your time there, especially from serving His people which is ultimately serving our Lord, and just so exciting. And I'm grateful for the gift of your life in my family's life as well. And so thanks for sharing, Anneliese. And we just wish you the best on your journey until we meet up again. But thanks again for all you've shared, and just encouragement then for you Living Lit listeners to just be praying about what sort of pilgrimage in your lifetime that the Lord might be inviting you to make. Maybe it's Lourdes one day. Who knows? But be praying on that and just be open to where the Lord is inviting you. So Our Lady of Lourdes, pray for us. Thanks for joining us today. Remember to like, subscribe, and share Living Lit, and reach out with topics you'd like tackled at livinglit@sfcatholic.org. And be the light, shine the light, share the light, and live lit.